Alright, so week 13 of college football just happened, so it is time to recap it. And let's just start off with, this wasn't the most exciting week of college football that we've ever had. We didn't really have that many good games. We had Ohio State, Penn State. After that, there really wasn't anything else. Navy SMU was kind of good. The Oregon game was only good because, of course, Oregon lost to Arizona State, which that puts in question, really. Do we consider the Pac-12 for the college football playoff? Oregon losing kind of just killed the Pac-12 altogether. Since they also lost to Auburn, it really does kind of put the Pac-12 out. Especially if they end up winning the Pac-12. It's definitely not even going to be close being talked to in the Final Four when it comes down to it. So, and then, of course, I talked about Ohio State. They finally got sort of tested. I don't know. They really seemed off their game, though. That is something Penn State did, was put Ohio State off their game with a more dual threat quarterback than what they were used to. So that was something interesting to see for the first time in a while. And then we also had the Navy SMU game where Navy beat SMU. And it just once again puts the American Athletic Conference actually getting somewhat competitive. But it also shows that the American Athletic Conference is nowhere near up to the level compared to like the SEC still, or Big 12, Big 10, Pac-12. It's nowhere near the Power 5 conferences, and of course Notre Dame as well is kind of in that group of Power 5 conferences. Then we had some close calls this week as well. As we had Georgia taking on Texas A&M. They barely escaped out of that one. Iowa beat Illinois 19-10. They barely escaped out of that one as well. Oklahoma State beat West Virginia 21-14. They barely escaped out of that one. Cincinnati, I think, beat Temple by 2 points? So that one was close as well. And then we had Oklahoma and TCU, which was like a 28-24 game. So just a lot of close calls this week. Sadly, the underdogs just couldn't pull the upset out. We would like to see it, but it sadly didn't happen. So it is time for my top 25. Of course, we start off with the big names. LSU at number 1. They're undefeated at 11-0. Number 2 is, of course, Ohio State, undefeated at 11-0. Number 3 is, of course, Clemson, undefeated at 11-0. Number 4 is Georgia at 10-1. Number 5 is Bama at 10-1. Number 6 is Utah at 10-1. And then number 7 is Oklahoma at 10-1. I'm pretty sure no one's going to differentiate their top 7 right now. It's going to be pretty solid. LSU, Ohio State, Clemson, Georgia, Bama, Utah, Oklahoma. Don't think there's going to be many questions on that. It's really this next tier where teams are going to start separating each other from other teams. So at number 8, I have Florida, who is 9-2 right now. Number 9 is Minnesota, who's 10-1. Number 10 is Penn State, who's 9-2. Number 11 is Michigan, who's 9-2. Oregon drops all the way to number 12, and they are now 9-2. Notre Dame is number 13 at 9-2. Wisconsin is 14 at 9-2 after they also didn't play very well against the best opponent in Purdue, who's been very struggling this year. Number 15 is Auburn at 8-3. Number 16 is Baylor at 10-1. Number 17 is Cincinnati at 10-1. Number 18 is Memphis at 10-1. Number 19 is Boise State at 10-1. Number 20 is Iowa at 8-3. Number 21 is Oklahoma State at 8-3. Number 22 is Appalachian State at 10-1. Number 23 is Virginia Tech at 8-3. Number 24 is USC at 8-4. And closing out my top 25 is Navy, and they are 9-2. So some other teams that didn't make it, and these teams are not really in order, but these would be the 5 outside looking in teams that I have are Virginia, UCF, Texas A&M, SMU, and Iowa State. So that is my top 25 for the week and my recap for week 13 of college football. Wow, we're almost to week 14 already. Championship week, rivalry week. It's a big week. And then right after that, we have championship week. And we got bowl games. This year is moving right along. Sadly, it is almost about over. But that only means your team actually has a chance, unless it's Ohio State, LSU, Georgia, Clemson, Bama, Utah, Oklahoma to actually win an actual championship next year. So you have something to look forward to once again. Maybe they'll finally expand it to the 18 league. Well, 18 championship. So those are my thoughts once again. If you guys agree, disagree with my top 25, or have something to add to the recap of this week, or disagree with my recaps for some reason, put it down below. I'd like to hear it, of course. And of course, thank you guys for watching. Make sure click those links down below: Instagram, Twitter, Discord, and Patreon. And of course, just make sure to keep the sports week flowing throughout the day.